A recording or presentation of the Wechsler Memory Scale, 3rd edition, abbreviated, or WMS III Abbreviated. So a description of the scale, the Wechsler Memory Scale, 3rd edition abbreviated, was designed to provide users with an instrument that could quickly measure auditory and visual memory abilities. So it is a subset of the Wechsler Memory Scale 3rd edition, or an abbreviated version, and includes only 4 of the subtests measuring auditory and visual immediate and delayed memory, specifically Logical Memory 1, Family Pictures 1, Logical Memory 2, and Family Pictures 2. From these 4 subtests, our 3 composite scores are formed: immediate memory composite, delayed memory composite, and total memory composite. And the instrument has been normed on 1,250 examinees, ranging in age from 16 to 89. According to the publisher, the goal of the instrument is to provide clinicians with an estimate of an examinee's general memory functioning when the results from a full assessment of memory is not necessary or not possible. So, for example, the instrument might be useful when a clinician is simply screening for memory problems in a standard or basic abbreviated evaluation. The administration of the 4 subtests is convenient, clear, and straightforward, according to the reviewer. First, the administrator administers the Logical Memory 1 subtest. The administrator reads the story, and the examinee repeats what he or she can remember. And then second story is read, and again the examinee repeats what he or she can remember. For Family Picture 1, the administrator shows the examinee a family with several members and then 4 different scenes. The examinee is asked to repeat the events in the 4 scenes. After a delay of 25 to 35 minutes, the examinee is administered Logical Memory 2 and asked to recall much of the stories from Logical Memory 1 as he or she can. Finally, Family Pictures 2 is administered, and the examinee is asked this time to recall as much as possible about the family scenes presented in Family Pictures 1. So according to the technical manual that comes with the assessment, the assessor has to make a decision about whether to administer the long or short version of the WMS-3. That depends on the clinical questions being asked, the level of detail of information that is needed, and the amount of time available to assess memory functioning. So in the context of a standard review requiring an assessment of memory functioning, the short form would appear to suffice. The tool, well, the Wechsler Memory Scale has been used for years and by researchers and clinicians. It is in its 3rd edition. As far as the abbreviated part, according to the manual, the criteria for the selection of only 4 subtests was based on good psychometric qualities, relative ease in administering and scoring, high correlations with other memory measures, evidence of sensitivity to memory impairment in clinical studies, assessment of immediate and delayed recall, and the use of both visual and verbal modalities of presentation. Since the selection does not attempt in any way to draw a representative sample of subtests from the full version, it cannot be considered to be an actual form of the WMS-3, and this point is emphasized in the technical manual. So to avoid confusion or lawsuits, I'm sure. Technically speaking, reliability estimates for the subtests average between 0.79 to 0.88, and for the larger composite scales it was 0.87 to 0.92, so that's slightly higher reliability for the larger composite tests. And then the test-retest reliability showed a drop with the interval ranging from 2 to 12 weeks. It went from, well, yeah, you can see it there. These results clearly support the view that when using the scores in diagnoses, focus should be on the composite scores. I thought that was important. And one interesting finding was the small but practically significant practice effect. So clinicians need to be alert to small expected gain simply due to the experience of examinees taking the instrument a second time. So basically, their clinicians should be aware that the subject is likely to score better the second time just because they're taking it a second time. And then inter-rater reliability of scoring seemed to be high for all of the subtests, in excess of 90%, or 0.90. I'm going to skip that slide. I meant to take it out. So in summary, this is a highly reliable and valid instrument to measure auditory and visual memory abilities in 15 to 20 minutes of examinee time. And it is, according to this reviewer, great interest and value to researchers and clinicians. Even if readers have little need for an instrument to measure memory in their own research program and or clinical practice, they should read the technical manual. Apparently, it is a superb example of how technical manuals should be written. Comprehensive, technically sound, and highly readable. And then this is the reference that the reviewer used. That's the end. What is going on? Crap. Oh, I bet you're on the other screen.